I'm stunned abroad in Japan, and I am taking you guys with me. So, let's cue the travel montage. So after all my packing was done, I started to head out. It was a, I believe, 2-hour drive to the border, but ended up taking a little longer. The sky was super pretty that day. I remember the mountains all being very visible, which you can see here. It was a pretty nice drive. We ended up getting to the border 4 hours later, and then once we entered Canada, it was time to go to our hotel. The hotel was really nice. I loved the interior. It's almost had like an old mansion kind of vibe to it. The room was nice as well. The view was pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I've never had a view like this in a hotel. And then we woke up around 10:30 and decided to go get coffee. I think I forgot to mention we were in Vancouver, which is close to the airport we were going to be flying out of. So we walked to a nearby coffee shop. I got a mocha, and Jack barely managed to drink his coffee without spilling it. We got to the airport, and it was finally time to do all that airport stuff. We got to our check-in place, and it turns out they don't do it until like 3 hours before, so we played some TFT on some chairs. We waited in line for like 30 minutes and then went through all that security stuff. This is like a little video of this. I don't even know what that is, but I felt like this is the type of thing you would see in the Japan airport, but it was here in Vancouver, which I thought was funny. We then walked to our gate, and the Vancouver airport is very pretty. They have like a little aquarium. They had like a river going through it. I've never seen an airport that had this kind of stuff in it, so I thought that was super cool. It was then time for us to board our flight. This was not nerve-wracking, but it was, I don't know, I've never been on a 10-hour flight before, so it was a little crazy. They had all these like cool gadgets on the plane. There was our window had like a little tint that you could like turn up or down if you wanted to sleep. They had these little monitors with remotes so you could watch TV on. And they gave us pillows and blankets for the 10-hour flight. This, you can see here, the window tinting down and then comparing it to the other windows. Super cool. Never seen that before. We took off, and then that began our 10-hour journey in the air. Super pretty view again. You can see the mountains in the back there if you look closely enough. Well, on the plane, we watched the new One Piece movie. I don't know if anyone has seen that, but it was okay. Not my favorite. Got some snacks from the staff, and then of course some wine to wash those snacks down. Always heard that people who fly international flights just get drunk and then fall asleep, so thought that would be funny. The first meal we got was actually crazy. I've never had airplane food that was this good. Had some, I think, a Japanese brand beer with it, and then they gave us some ice cream to put us to sleep. As you can see here, they automatically turned all the tints on the window up, and it was pitch black in the plane, even though it was light out. They then gave us a second meal when we woke up, and then I think at this point we had around 3 hours left in our flight. Yeah, again, here's the pretty view. And then this is me messaging my neighbor on the plane. It's a little fun thing you could do. But then, 10 hours flew by honestly pretty fast, and then we were here in Japan. Jack and I didn't really know what to expect going into the Japanese airport. It was a lot of people lined up for customs or security. I don't really know what this is called. But yeah, I went through that, and then it was time for us to figure out the train system, which I will say is very difficult with a limited ability to read kanji. So we messed around with Google Maps and then somehow ended up taking the right trains, which, by the way, I thought this was really crowded on the trains when I got here. I've been in Japan for a little bit now, I think about a week. This is not anywhere close to as crowded as the trains actually get. It gets wild. But yeah, super pretty when we got there. It was raining out. It looked very cyberpunk. And yeah, I just loved how everything looked. Super cool. Just lights reflecting off the surfaces. Felt like I was in Blade Runner or something. But we got there, found our hotel. This is actually in the 7-Eleven. You gotta always get film in the 7-Eleven when you get to Japan. It's crazy stuff in there. It has everything. It has dessert, it has food, it has lunch. You got like jelly there, I think. But yeah, no, it was crazy. The 7-Elevens here, you could live off of them. This is all the food. Look at that. So yummy. But yeah, and it's also dirt cheap. So at least coming from the US. But yeah, no, we stopped at the 7-Eleven just to look around and then went to a ramen shop nearby to our hotel. They have these cool little kiosk stations where you can get your ticket, and that's where you get your ramen. And we sat down, gave the guy our ticket. This was Jack's ramen, looked pretty good. This was mine, obviously looking better. And we both gobbled those up. Absolutely delicious. It's the first meal we've had in Japan. And then we came back to our hotel. This is the next morning because I forgot to get film that night of the hotel because I was so tired, but our room was tiny. We had to share this bed, super stiff bed, and yeah, I think I slept for like 5 hours maybe. And then this is our view. It was like you could just see a wall. pretty awesome stuff. But yeah, this is our first day in Japan. Hope you guys enjoyed, and probably gonna do another vlog soon on what my first week in Japan has looked like. So stay tuned for that. Thank you. Bye.